Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Kicking things off with dual Doppler 5000 radar. We're looking at some showers mainly south of the triangle this morning. I'll show you if you'll be affected. The WRAL Storm Tracker is giving us a live look at the wet morning commute for some. This is a live look at I-40 in Johnston County.
Also on the roads, danger for drivers on I-40. The warning police are giving after at least 6 instances of shots fired at random cars.
We're getting closer to learning whether Republicans will have control of both chambers of Congress as you look live at the U.S. Capitol. The important races still left to be decided after Donald Trump's election win. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. Welcome to your Thursday. A lot to tell you about. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your routine here. And as you go through it this morning, a little something different, throwing a wrinkle in here with a little bit of rain out there. And Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with where it's headed.
Boy, we definitely need the rain out there. And we had some move through the Triangle area overnight last night, and you might still run into some damp roads around Raleigh or Durham. But the rain itself is really starting to fizzle in our northern counties. So say from Wilson northward, you might run into a sprinkle or two. But if you're headed down toward Fayetteville or down toward Wilmington, you're going to run into some showers there on I-40 or on I-95. But we zoom into the Triangle. Durham, Raleigh, Clayton, Zebulon, Anger, all dry right now. A few lingering showers in Smithfield. Futurecast shows all this rain continuing to move to the south. We're not going to see it really moving back into the viewing area, minus a quick little sprinkle. As we get into the afternoon, expect partly cloudy skies, and it is going to be another warm day. There's still a little bit of water lingering on the camera lens here, but kind of hard pressed to find much of that on our cameras in Wake County. 69 is our temperature heading out the door. And again, it will be a warm afternoon with a bit of sunshine and a high temperature close to 80 degrees. Checking the tropics, of course, Rafael moved across the western tip of Cuba as a Category 3 storm, just destroying their power grid. It will likely continue to head off to the west and not have much of an impact on land. We do have another chance for rain in our 7-day forecast. I'll show you when, Ken.
At 6:02, Elizabeth, as you can see that all the rain has moved out of Wake County as we've combined our traffic sensors this morning with a dual Doppler 5000, mainly to our southern counties, including Johnston County. And that's where we find WRAL's Heidi Kirk in the WRAL Storm Tracker. What are you seeing out your window right now on I-40 in Johnston County?
Ken, good morning. That's right. We're in the WRAL Storm Tracker on I-40 heading from Wake County to Johnston County. Go ahead and take a look at the roads out here. We're seeing some pretty steady rain coming down. We've had the wipers on quite frequently throughout the morning, and the roads out here are pretty wet. You're starting to see people heading out on their morning commute. We've seen the traffic steadily pick up. So if you're headed out this way, this is what the commute is going to look like for you. Quite a bit of water out there, some pooling on the side of the road. So if you're headed out this way, you want to take it a little bit slower. Be prepared to have your windshield wipers on and be monitoring the road conditions. We're going to continue bringing you a live look from the roads out here this morning. Ken?
Some good advice, Heidi. Thanks. And the good news right now is that we don't have any major incidents to report in any of our major roadways in Wake County and surrounding communities this morning. If you're getting ready to head out, we can keep you updated on the radio. You can tune into us on 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle or 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Raleigh police want drivers to be alert on I-40. At least 6 cars have been hit by bullets in the last 3 days. One person was shot in the leg. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the Raleigh Police Department right now. Kelsey, it's a very dangerous situation. Tens of thousands of people drive on this stretch of road.
Yes, Jeff, and this morning, Raleigh police are hoping that they can get some tips from drivers. They're looking for your help to find who's responsible. 6 cars were shot at this week along this stretch of I-40 in Raleigh and Cary. That's from Chapel Hill Road to Gorman Street to Buck Jones Road. Take a look at this video of officers investigating along the highway. Police have not released a description of who they're looking for. We're working to find out whether there was more than one shooter. But it appears someone is shooting these cars at random. Nash County Sheriff Keith Stone faced a similar situation back in 2020 when a man shot at multiple cars along I-95. He says tips from drivers play a pivotal role in cases like this.
This is where the public with cell phones and the ability to report crimes right then and has the ability to give good descriptions, that's what solves these cases and makes it where we're possible to stop this stuff very quickly.
Raleigh police say finding this shooter is their top priority right now, so they plan to have extra patrols out on I-40 today. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
This morning, we'll hear from President Biden for the first time since the election. He'll speak from the Rose Garden at the White House. Biden plans to address the nation at 11 this morning. He praised Vice President Kamala Harris in a statement last night after she conceded the race. Biden called Harris a tremendous partner and public servant full of integrity, courage, and character. He did not mention President-elect Donald Trump by name in the statement.
Vice President Kamala Harris is delivering a message of hope to her supporters after the election. Harris gave her concession speech yesterday at her alma mater, Howard University in D.C. She told thousands of supporters there that she is proud of her campaign. She told them it's still important for them to make their voices heard over the next 4 years.
Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up.
Harris says she called President-elect Trump earlier in the day to offer her congratulations.
Today, we'll get closer to learning who will have control of the House of Representatives in the next Congress. You're looking live at the Capitol building, where Republicans hope they will have majorities in both chambers in January. Republicans took control of the Senate in Tuesday's election. This morning, 39 House races are still left to be decided. NBC News has called 209 races for Republicans, 187 for Democrats. A party needs to win 218 seats to have control of the House. Analysts say we may not know the results of some of these races until next week or maybe even longer.
And we saw the response to the end of the presidential race with President Donald Trump. Essentially, this is rallying the stock market. We saw the futures yesterday going up beyond 1,300 points. And this morning, a little change for the most part, but still positive. We have the Dow futures up 90-ish points, the S&P up 11, and the NASDAQ futures up 46. And of course, we'll be watching very closely to see if this information changes, because, Jeff, as you know, there's going to be a Fed discussion happening today where things could shift as well.
Well, that is certainly the market's response to what they believe. They plan for a Donald Trump presidency, what it'll look like. We may see that cuts of interest rates today. Analysts expect the Federal Reserve will announce another 0.25% cut today. The Fed cut the rate by 0.5% last month. Financial experts say the benefits from these rate cuts will be small for a little while. They say more cuts are needed for people who are struggling with credit card debt and loan payments. Tonight, you can get a look at the proposed designs for expansion of the Raleigh Convention Center. The city is hosting a community meeting from 6 to 7 tonight at the Convention Center. It's on South Salisbury Street. It will present 3 external design options as well as options for the plaza and green space. You can give your feedback on what you'd like to see. The expanded Convention Center will overtake that space where Red Hat Amphitheater is now. The Red Hat will be rebuilt 1 block to the south.
Today, the State Board of Education will consider whether high school students should be able to take core classes on a pass-fail basis. The board plans to vote today on a policy that would not allow pass-fail grade for classes like English and math. The policy, as it's written now, does not say when pass-fail can be used instead of the traditional letter grade.
Some students apparently have been able to do pass, no pass when they go through the credit recovery process. So that would no longer be an option for those students.
If approved, the policy change would go into effect during the 2025-26 school year. The board also plans to vote today, waiving some federal requirements for counties affected by Helene.
Today, the group that owns Lenovo Center is meeting to talk about next steps in the arena's redesign. Centennial Authority's $300 million project will add food and retail options as well as more parking. Plans also include a beer garden, VIP lobby, and new team store. The board's meeting starts at 10 o'clock this morning.
Millions of people in Cuba are without power after Hurricane Rafael caused the national electrical grid to collapse. This is the second time this has happened in less than a month. The storm is moving toward the Gulf of Mexico this morning. Tropical storm warnings have been issued for some areas of Florida.
Hundreds of employees at Wolfspeed are being laid off. The semiconductor manufacturer is cutting its workforce by 10%. Wolfspeed told us this round of layoffs will mainly affect North Carolina. It didn't say exactly where or which divisions. The company has already laid off 10% of its employees in the past 3 months. It also announced in August it's closing its Durham production facility. Economist Mike Walden tells us these layoffs will have an impact outside the company as well.
It's not just the individual losing their job, it's what that individual means to the local economy. That's taken away, and that means the local economy is less robust.
Last month, the company received $750 million in grant money from the Federal CHIPS Act. We're 10 after 6 on your Thursday. Raleigh's next mayor is already getting to work a month before she'll be sworn in. What Mayor-elect Janet Cowell is saying about her priorities for the city.
And with the presidential election often comes stress. Why experts say it's okay to put politics on pause, especially with the holidays right around the corner.
And we do have a little bit of rain showing up on the radar. At this point, most of it is south and east of Raleigh. I'll let you know if you'll run into it on your morning commute.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, we've been following some showers on Dual Doppler 5000 radar this morning. Earlier, we had some nice showers roll across the Triangle area, but it's pretty much over. We didn't end up seeing a whole lot. But from Wilson County southward along the I-95 corridor, and then, of course, as you head south down I-40 as well, that's where you're going to run into some of the showers. So if you're if you're coming up from Fayetteville or, say, from Goldsboro, you're going to end up seeing a few showers there. But we take a live look at Raleigh. Definitely some cloud cover lingering. It's a warm start out there this morning. 71 in Fayetteville, 66 in South Hill. Tarboro is at 68 and Goldsboro's at 70. So walking the dog this morning, it may be a little damp depending on where you are, but we'll see partly cloudy skies this afternoon with temperatures close to 80 degrees. If you're hoping for more rain, we may see some early next week. I'll show you. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes, and right now you can see with the combination of the Dual Doppler 5000 and our live traffic sensors, all that rain has moved out of Wake County, as you mentioned, Elizabeth, all down to our southern counties this morning. And that's where we find the WRAL storm tracker, Heidi Kirk, monitoring these road conditions for us. She is on I-40 in Johnston County this morning. You can see the windshield wipers still going there, the rain on the windshield this morning. Definitely give yourself some extra time as you're heading out this morning. The good news is we don't have any major issues to report in any of our major roadways. But if you're getting ready to head out, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Raleigh Mayor-elect Janet Cowell is in a familiar workspace, but with a brand new title. Cowell spent 2 terms as a city council member over 20 years ago. Now she is returning as mayor. One of the biggest things on her agenda is affordable housing. Cowell says she is already getting up to speed on those initiatives with Raleigh's city manager.
I was asking her, are there any big zoning cases coming up, any developments that we think are going to come back? You know, a lot of people were kind of waiting through the election. So I don't think anything immediately in the next, 6 weeks or anything, but I think we'll get a good amount of activity coming next year.
Cowell is expected to be sworn in December 2nd at the Martin Marietta Center for Performing Arts.
The 2024 election had voters of both parties stressed out. Some are happy with the outcome, others left disappointed. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey is here now with what experts are saying about the best way to deal with all this stress. Michelle.
Renee, voters are filled with mixed emotions following Tuesday's election. According to the American Psychological Association, almost 70% of Americans said the election was a significant source of stress in their lives. So whether you're celebrating or you're feeling anxious, it's okay to put politics on pause and really do some self-care.
It's good to take a break from media and social media because there's going to be a lot of content that is just going to stir people up.
And some other things you can do to manage this stress: exercise, get outside, take a walk, talk to people who support you, get enough sleep, and don't consume too much caffeine or alcohol. And with the holidays coming, experts suggest making an agreement with family and friends to just keep politics off the table.
Yeah, holiday or not, that's just a good rule to follow anyway. Love thy neighbor and family. You don't have to love their politics.
Exactly.
Michelle, thanks.
I'm going to get lost on a run. A Delta flight was diverted to RDU after reported odor in the flight deck. A mid-air emergency was declared last night before the plane landed at RDU. Delta says the plane was carrying 150 passengers plus 6 crew members. No one was injured. The flight originated out of Atlanta and was headed for D.C.
New Year's Day is the target for the partial reopening of I-40 in western North Carolina. Crews are working to make the areas hit hard by Helene drivable. The reopening would be a temporary fix with 1 lane of traffic flowing in each direction. The long-term fix isn't decided yet. More than 300 roads, including 52 primary roads, are still closed in the western part of our state.
6:18 the time right now. Our temperatures just scream November out there, don't they, Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center? 80 again today?
Yeah, that's right. Another warm one for today. Hey, here's something a little different. We have some rain out there. We had a nice little band of rain early this morning that stretched all the way up into Virginia. The northern end of that has really fizzled, but you might still run into a sprinkle there in Wilson County and then down toward Goldsboro and Fayetteville. It's pretty much over for Durham and Raleigh and, really all the places that we tend to see some heavier traffic in the mornings. The rain's pretty much over there. Maybe a little bit left down there in Johnston County, but it's almost over there too. We'll zoom in down around Benson, seeing a few scattered showers, and then down toward Dunn and on toward Cumberland County and Sampson County, still seeing some scattered light rain out there. We could use a bunch more, and we may see more rain by the time we get to Sunday night and Monday. We're going to take a closer look at that. This morning, again, an isolated shower still could pop up in a few places, but we'll see partly cloudy skies this afternoon, and it will be a warm one. Our rainfall for the next 3 days, around 1/4 of an inch or so. We just weren't lucky enough to get much more than that. The last time we had measurable rain was just 11 days ago on October 27th, but the last really significant rain we had was 1.5 inches, 41 days ago, September 27th. So it's been very dry for us in October and certainly for the first part of November as well. Take a live look across the area. Cloudy skies in Raleigh as well as Chapel Hill, Apex, and Fayetteville, but a bit later on this morning, we may start to see some of those clouds beginning to break up. There was a lot heavier rain down into South Carolina and Georgia, but we were just on the northern end of this and just didn't get a whole lot out of it. We'll have another chance on Sunday night and Monday. This is Sunday early in the morning at around 5 a.m. Will likely be cloudy on Sunday. Another front approaches at lunchtime. There could be some sprinkles, and then into the afternoon we start to see that rain sliding into the region. It's with us overnight and then into the day on Monday too. There's lunchtime Monday, and it's starting to pull out a little bit with some sunshine during the afternoon. But of course, Monday is Veterans Day, and there are a number of ceremonies that happen across our area, and it is likely to be wet in the morning. So the rain is tapering off for us right now. We'll see some rain late afternoon, evening Sunday, and into the first part of the day on Monday. We're watching the tropics as well. Hurricane Rafael moved across the western tip of Cuba as a Category 3 storm and just destroyed their power grid again, the second time in a month. And then it just moves here to the west toward Mexico and fizzles out. It may not even make landfall. There is another potential storm that could develop in the Atlantic, not too far from the Bahamas, with about a 20 to 30% chance there. Check in what is happening around here. It's warm today and tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be partly cloudy. Saturday looks gorgeous with temperatures closer to normal. And then, of course, we'll wrap up the weekend and start next week with a little bit of rain. Ken?
Elizabeth, at 6:20, we do have the WRAL storm tracker out on the roadways this morning. They're in Johnston County on I-40, as you can see right there. Here's what they're looking at out their window this morning. You can see the windshield wipers are still going this morning. A little bit of misty rain coming down. You might see some ponding on the road this morning, so definitely give yourself some extra time this morning as you get ready to head out. Come back with me here as we look live at our live traffic sensors this morning. The good news to report, we don't have any major incidents to report. All our major roads are delay-free this morning. Traffic is constantly changing. You're getting ready to head out. Tune us in on the radio. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle at 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thanks. Some western North Carolina counties are just now getting students back in school. A look at how school staff are welcoming students back in the areas hit hardest by Helene.
Also, fast-moving wildfires are destroying homes in California. What's making this fire so difficult to get under control?
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A viral sensation from the Olympics is stepping away from her sports.
And get ready for season 5 of Stranger Things. Ken Smith here now with what's trending. Hi, Ken.
Yeah, Renee and Jeff, let's start with the Olympics here. You probably remember Reagan from the breaking event at the Olympics. The Australian dancer, whose real name is Rachel Gunn, says she's stepping away from competition. She cited negative responses, including on social media, she got because of her dancing at the games.
Oh, and she took some heat for her performances. Remember, she didn't score any points in the Olympics at all. She did win, though, because there were some Halloween costumes out there this year kind of memeing her, I guess you could say.
Very much so.
Well, and even one of our colleagues dressed up like her, too, which was great.
So she inspired a few people.
Exactly, yes, with her resilience.
Exactly. Well, listen, the 5th and final season of Stranger Things coming out sooner than we expected. Netflix releasing a teaser yesterday revealing the episode titles. The streaming service also reveals the season will come out next year instead of 2026 as originally thought.
So great news for fans moving up the timeline there, and we'll have to see in this season which Durham landmarks they feature. You know, since the creators are from Durham, there's always in every season you get to see, oh, where is that? Where is that? Here in the Triangle.
Super fun to follow along because it's super weird. Thanks, Ken.
A young man in Clayton is getting attention for an act of kindness caught on camera. This is 13-year-old Colby from Clayton. And while trick-or-treating, he came across a house whose candy bucket had run out of candy. So he tossed a bunch of his own candy into the empty bucket for others to take. His mom calls this a proud mama moment. She says he often does kind things for people when nobody's watching.
A grown-up thing. President Joe Biden will address the nation this morning from the White House, the praise he is giving Vice President Kamala Harris after her concession speech.
And taking a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar, we did have some rain that rolled through the Triangle area overnight. All that rain is sliding southward and eastward, mainly affecting our southern counties right now. I'll show you when we'll have another chance, though, coming up.
The WRAL Storm Tracker is on the road this morning for the wet commute. Here's a live look at conditions right now on I-40 in Johnston County. Activate those windshield wipers.